Tech for ID.
Tech for ID.
Tech for ID.
Technology for Indonesia.
Technology for Indonesia.
Technology for Indonesia.
Technology for everyone.
Technology for everyone.
And welcome to another live session with Tech for ID. And welcome. Today we have our special episode to celebrate International Women's Day today, March 8, 2022. And today we are going to talk about entrepreneurship and women empowerment with two of our amazing speakers. We have here Yorin Anggari. She is the co-founder and co-chief business development officer in Vampire, and also Ramani Nitiyudo, the co-founder and chief marketing officer at Vampire. Let us welcome Ramani and Yorin. Hi, girls.
Hi, Intan.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Also, thank you for Tech for ID for having this. We're super excited.
Thank you so much for being here with us. It's so exciting to have you girls here because this topic today is very, very exciting. So by the way, as we know, this is a live session. Jadi untuk teman-teman di rumah, kalau misalnya kalian mau nanya apapun ke Yorin, mau nanya apapun ke Ramani, kalian bisa langsung aja type di comment section below. Jadi kita bisa baca, nanti aku baca pertanyaan kalian, dan tentunya Ramani dan juga Yorin akan jawab pertanyaan kalian. Yorin sama Ramani sudah siap ya? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
We're going to have around an hour session today, and we're going to talk a lot today. But before that, would you please introduce yourself and maybe a bit of background about yourself? Mungkin kita mau dari Ramani dulu kali ya. Please, Ramani.
Boleh. So hi everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for having us today. Honestly, it means a lot, especially on an incredible day like International Women's Day. Couldn't even be happier to be here. But yeah, so aku Ramani Nitiyudo. Aku salah satu co-founder at Vampire. I'm also the chief marketing officer. So I oversee all of the marketing stuff in Vampire. Aside from that, I am still an undergraduate student, so I'm still studying, finishing my bachelor's degree at the National University of Singapore, majoring in communications and new media. So that's just the rough general thing about me.
Thank you so much, Mani. By the way, Ramani dipanggilnya Mani atau Rahmani di sini?
Rahmani, mau Mani, anything.
Mana aja boleh ya. All right.
Aja boleh.
Yorin, how about you, girl?
Hi. I am currently working right now. So I graduated 2 years ago, pas pandemi baru mulai. And now I'm working in Tani Hub, as well as doing Vampire with Mani and another co-founder that couldn't join us today, Madeline. Kita bertiga sebenarnya udah temenan lama banget dari kayak SD 3. So that's just my day to day. Basically, I take care of my dog, I work in Tani Hub, and then I do Vampire.
That's amazing. What are you doing in Tani Hub?
I'm working in corporate finance and corporate strategy. So just dealing with different projects I just see.
Oof. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for the introduction, girls. By the way, for the topic today, and of course for the International Women's Day, aku mau tanya nih, what is women's empowerment for you? Shall we start with Yorin?
Sure, I love the question. Women empowerment to me personally throughout the years have changed definisinya ya, tapi untuk sekarang sih, being in Vampire, definitely working with so many inspirational women. Menurut aku, women empowerment itu tuh wanita membantu wanita. Karena who else is going to help us the most if not women? Siapa lagi yang bakal ngertiin struggle kita, challenges kita, kecuali wanita. Jadi women empowerment is a movement where we try our best despite all the challenges and despite the circumstances to try to be the best versions of ourselves, as well as ngebantu wanita-wanita lain gimana caranya mereka juga be the best version of themselves gitu.
I think that's really, really beautiful. Karena gimana pun juga for society or like untuk community bisa berubah itu, it gets back to our individuals. So yeah, us supporting other women is like very crucial. I love that. What about you, Mani? What's woman empowerment for you?
I think Yoren put it really perfectly just then. But I do think that women empowerment is also very subjective to each and everyone's experiences. Of course, yeah, it at the root of it all, it is like women, like helping out other women, supporting them, lifting them up and stuff. But it's also open to men as well to understand, what women actually go through, our experiences, sharing stories and stuff, because if we really want to see change, right, everyone needs to be involved, basically. And personally for me, I think it is also really important to be comfortable in your own skin. Mm-hmm. So like women empowerment to me, yeah, it's just like having that comfortability, being vulnerable with yourself, also being very authentically you, and trying to idealize and realize that potential that you want in your life, so.
Thank you so much, Mani. Oh, okay. So that's woman empowerment for you too. And how do you see, bagaimana kalian melihat pemberdayaan perempuan di dunia saat ini? Mulai dari Yoren mungkin?
Dari apa lagi nih? Oke, jadi di dunia sekarang, especially with technology, especially with, things are so complicated now. Jadi kayak menurut aku banyak banget cara di mana kita bisa memperdayakan wanita. Tapi di bottom line, akhir-akhirnya, I think women empowerment is about education. Jadi a lot of people don't know what areas are misalkan biased. Kayak apa area-area yang perlu support kita, apa area-area yang perlu kita re-evaluate, misalkan investments gitu kan, banyak wanita yang nggak dapet, kita harus pikirin lagi gimana caranya wanita bisa dapat equal opportunity untuk investments gitu. Kalau misalkan di tech, gimana cara wanita bisa dapat equal opportunity untuk pursue karir yang mereka mau, dan it's all about knowledge and knowing what areas we can improve. Gitu sih untuk simpelnya dari aku.
Thank you so much, Yoren. What about Mani? How do you see women's empowerment today in the world?
I think there's a big disparity, in terms of like what countries, what places actually empower women way more than others. I mean, like we can see kalau misalnya di like more Asian countries, let's say, yang very rooted in like the traditions and the cultures and stuff that is essentially sexist by nature, yeah. Then I mean, we do see, like some efforts, but maybe not to an extent where we would like it to be if, let's say, we're to be in like other developing countries or like Western countries. But then again, even in Western countries, I don't think it is enough, or it's to the certain level that any woman would want it to be. So there's a lot that still needs to be done, to be honest, but I agree that it does also like to establish change, right? It does start with like educating other people, making people aware as well, but there's so much that you can do from the bottom up. You also need some enforcements from the top down as well. So, I mean, governments need to be involved, corporations need to be involved, organizations as well, starting in like schools, or even with like something as small as toys, like we are from a young age where we're told kayak, oh yeah, like kalau misalnya cewek mainnya sama Barbie ya,
Masak-masakan.
Masak-masakan, jadi guru, you know, like I love the like playing those kind of games, you know, or like mainnya yang princess gitu. Kalau cowok ya udah kayak pakai mainnya yang you know, like mobil-mobilan or
Robot-robotan.
yeah, you know. So I mean, it does. That is, if you think about it, it is also education, kan.
Yeah.
But it does start with like nurturing like children and like the younger generation from a very young age to not see like these like stereotypical factors that define like certain gender roles and stuff. Yeah.
It is very interesting what Mani just also said about the woman empowerment in the Western countries, right? And also like the other parts of the world. Nah, aku mau tanya nih, apa sih perbedaan yang paling dominan antara woman empowerment atau pemberdayaan perempuan di Indonesia dengan di belahan dunia lainnya? Mani, maybe you want to start?
I think kalau misalnya di Indonesia, right? We're improving. You know, we're getting there. I mean, we're one of like the few countries in the world to even already have like a female president, like Megawati, right?
Yeah.
We also have like a lot of females, you know, yang jadi menteri, yang jadi CEO and stuff. So we are seeing that gradual change. Tapi what I feel like is that it's a very small amount, you know, like of society. And kalau misalnya we just something as simple as like social interactions. Kalau misalnya kita mau, you know, like ngobrol sama keluarga or like families and stuff, especially people from like the older generation. When it comes to like talking to a girl, you know, it's very young kayak like there's like certain connotations gitu lah, kayak internalized like sexism that like goes into the conversation juga. It's like, you know, kapan punya pacar, or like kapan nikahnya, or whatsoever, you know, like that, like the subtle conversations show how deeply rooted the issue is, you know, and it's seen as like normal, right? It's normal to, you know, get married young and stuff, which kalau seandainya if it's a personal choice, by all means, you know, like go ahead. But it shouldn't be expected, you know, for each and every woman. So I feel like kalau di Indo tuh, it is still heavily related with what is in the culture and tradition since like ages ago, in the religion as well. And then that goes to play in, you know, casual conversations, and then that trickles down from generation to generation, and then, you know, the same is always expected. The cycle just consistently repeats. But I do see that there is hope in terms of it improving. It's not as bad probably as other parts in Indo, like maybe in places yang kayak lebih rural, perhaps it would be more difficult, right? Rather than being in Jakarta and stuff. So yeah, it's a large disparity sih.
Iya sih, benar sih. Kayak di Indonesia mah karena ya apa ya, kita tuh luas banget ya. Jadi tuh memang dan setiap daerah tuh kayak punya kultur peraturan masing-masing. Istilahnya di mana tanah dipijak, di situ yang dijunjung. That's like still very very true, dan banyak juga sayangnya di Indonesia kalau aku lihat juga ya, kayak masih banyak di daerah yang perempuan tuh nggak punya banyak kesempatan untuk kuliah atau mungkin kayak sekolah gitu. Karena ya they just don't have the opportunity for that. So I think that's a really important point that Mani just said. What about you, Yorin?
I think Mani covered a lot of really really good points, especially kayak personally sebagai wanita, kayak menurut aku tuh pasti viewers di sini, listeners sih pasti udah ngerasain gitu. Kalau misalkan kita ke party, let's say gitu ya, yang cowok-cowok kayak, oh ya kamu mau kerja apa gitu, yang cewek-cewek kayak, oh kamu naik berat badan ya gitu, kayak it's like how do you develop minds dari kecil sampai gede kalau misalkan wanita cuman dikasih topik pembicaraannya make up, beauty, pacar, sedangkan cowok dari kecil udah diasah kayak bisnis, duit, karir gitu ya. So I think money covered that really, really well. Sebenarnya satu hal that I've been thinking about in terms of culture, apa sih bedanya feminism di Indo sama di tempat lain? Itu tuh cara kita educate other people juga. Itu I think a big factor that I had to learn myself personally, kayak kita tuh nggak bisa ngomong sama orang tua kita atau misalkan om tante kita dengan cara yang sama orang-orang di Western world ngobrol misalkan sama elderly. I think that's something that nggak bisa diterima aja di culture kita kan. So it's about how to connect with them, how to talk with them, how to make more people understand. Itu beda banget di Indo, kayak kita harus beneran mengertiin kalau misalkan orang tua kita juga sebenarnya it's not their fault that mereka pemikirannya seperti itu cuman ya yang dibilang Mani dari generasi atas dibawa ke bawah-bawah gitu. So it's really not their fault cara pemikiran mereka kayak gitu, cuman bagaimana kita menuturkan kayak kata-kata kita dan informasinya supaya mereka juga bisa terima, culturally also acceptable gitu.
That's a very, very interesting point. Thank you so much, Yorin. Nah, kalau challenges nih, we're talking about challenges. What sort of challenges do women go through when becoming an entrepreneur? And is there any kind of like unique challenges that applies only to women that doesn't apply to men? Mani mau mulai?
Well, I'll probably speak from personal experience aja, because I feel like the experience in being an entrepreneur, it is very kayak depends on the person, you know. Untuk aku sih, I think pas awal-awalnya tuh I was very like doubtful gitu loh, kayak about myself, kayak sebenarnya tuh like what do I want to do, you know, or like what problem do I want to solve, because there's so many problems out there, you know, that potential entrepreneurs can tackle and then create like a business surrounding it kan. Tapi I think that was mainly because I wasn't knowledgeable enough to know what to do, you know, and I don't think gender really is a differentiating factor when it comes to that, because like of course when it comes to, let's say you want to, you know, like access to certain pieces of information atau kayak access to investments and stuff, kayak of course like there's been so many reports showing that there is, you know, like a disparity when it comes to kayak the access that's provided to men and to women. But I think when it comes to actually wanting to become an entrepreneur, I don't think that gender is a differentiating factor, because honestly, if anyone wanted to do something that is within the entrepreneurship field and you are knowledgeable enough and you have the resources that you need, then it's your dreams tuh bisa tercapai gitu loh. And like you can really like make your own roadmap on how to get there, right? But I feel like a common thing that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially females, think, right, is this thing called like imposter syndrome. Jadi tuh it's when we always think oh yeah, because of like my gender and stuff, like gue kurang pede, or like no one's gonna listen to me, no one's going to, you know, believe in what I stand for or what I say or whatsoever, or like I can't achieve a certain thing. It is very common, and honestly I used to think that it was a women's problem, honestly, like at the beginning, but I did come across this amazing, inspiring woman that gave this talk during my Stanford course, and she also gave insights that sebenarnya imposter syndrome is experienced universally by everyone from across all genders, you know. Just because kayak us females, maybe kita tuh kan we're very open with we're very in touch with our feelings, you know, and we're quite okay with like expressing, you know, like that side of us. So maybe that's why like we get to think or see like, oh yeah, like kayaknya tuh like cewek doang gitu loh yang ada imposter syndrome, tapi sebenarnya tuh guys as well. And she gave insights, that, like you probably think you're sitting in that room right now, like before, I don't know, a job interview or a meeting or whatever, and you're like doubting yourself and stuff. 100%, the other guy that's like sitting right across you, who's gonna go in that meeting room as well, is feeling nervous as well, like doubtful and stuff. So yeah, I think it's very it's very kayak different, and it's not so much from what we think. And I do think that of course any entrepreneur is going to go through challenges kan, in any kind of like entrepreneurial journey that they go through, but it is up to the individual kalau misalnya mereka mau overcome that challenge, so yeah.
That's really right, because like indeed imposter syndrome is something that pasti semua orang tuh sempet ngerasain gitulah, having insecurities, nggak yakin and all that, terutama kalau misalnya kita nggak punya support system yang bisa dukung kita dan kayak selalu ngingetin kita what we are worth of. So Yoren, what about you?
Hai, sorry banget tadi charger aku rusak, jadi I have to move. So I think Mani covered it really well. Also, it's zaman sekarang menurut aku beda banget sama zaman dulu. Just to be honest, because I mean, gue udah pernah ngobrolin sama Intan sama Mani a lot of like horror stories from my mom's era. Karena kan my mom is an entrepreneur. So she told me crazy stories yang kayak zaman dulu, mungkin 10 tahun yang lalu. She had to wear a ring to meetings, and then she had to pretend to be an assistant just so that the people yang dari sales, the people yang kayak pengen beli barang itu pengen dengerin gitu. So I think dulu situasinya beda banget dibanding sekarang yang kayak risingnya itu kan startups dan kayak company-company yang beneran modern yang kayak kalau misalkan you have the skills, you have the education, bakal diterima gitu. I would say though one challenge that's actually women only, yang Mani juga sempat mention, itu tuh sebagai entrepreneur itu funding. Jadi it is proven by data that women get less funding. And sebenarnya even when they get funding, kayak women tuh they get more difficult questions, more weird questions from investors. And akhirnya kemarin pas kita sempat ada acara sama Tanya Rolf, she's an investor as well as a co-founder of Sophia. Dia sering ngobrol sama female entrepreneurs dan dia sering kayak cari investor buat these female entrepreneurs. Dia tuh cerita kayak cewek itu lebih susah dapat funding karena emang dari atas kayak where the money comes from. Top down, they have that bias already. So specifically for this entrepreneurship, I think there's a difference between men and women because the data supports it kayak dari atas karena emang ada biasnya, ya women get less funding gitu. Tapi jangan sedih karena solusinya adalah yang diceritain dari acara ini, solusinya adalah ya cari investor wanita. Women has crazy consumer power. They also have a lot of women have a lot of money juga kan. So yang penting itu tuh cari orang-orang yang pengen support kalian aja gitu. And I agree with Mani banget. These days it's all about finding the education, the skills, the resources if you want it. Kayak that's why me and Mani juga kita bikin Vampire supaya kayak wanita-wanita muda yang benar pengen mulai karir mereka gitu bisa dapat resources yang gratis. Kita bakal coba sebisanya mungkin gitu loh untuk sharing sama teman-teman kayak gimana sih cara step up your career, gimana sih kayak cara dapat job yang bagus di tech gitu dan kayak naik level, naik tingkat gitu. So in terms of imposter syndrome, just believe in yourself. Look for the resources, banyak banget resources online sekarang gratis, and if you need a support system, you can go to Vampire. We believe in you.
We believe in you and we support you. Oh my God, that's really right. Kayak sekarang tuh udah banyak banget sih beberapa workshop online segala macam. We have YouTube University now. Ya mungkin memang nggak akan sedalam dan sedeep kalau misalnya kita bayar ini ya bayar coach mungkin akan berbeda. But I mean, ya kalau misalnya kita mau belajar dan kita mau coba, maybe we can definitely do whatever that we want and we can reach our goals, definitely. So, talking about female leaders, right? Siapa sih role model wanita kalian yang bergerak di women empowerment dan kenapa? Yoren mau jawab?
Karena reaksi gue ya. Jadi ada beberapa, ada banyak banget. Tapi of course, first and foremost, I have to say my mom dong. Karena she's a single mom, she's a mompreneur gitu. She's the first person yang gue lihat kayak, oh ya, cewek bisa jadi bos gitu. And a mom, and do everything that, people say is too much to do for one person. So definitely right on the top is my mom. Tapi selain itu menurut aku kayak in my life I've been super lucky to have a lot of good female mentors yang ngajarin aku gimana caranya confident, ngajarin aku gimana kayak caranya untuk lebih rajin, lebih apa ya, lebih ganas, apa sih, lebih
ganas.
What you want gitu. But I think if I have to say one celebrity person yang role model, I want to say Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So I think she has a movie, aduh aku lupa namanya apa, kayak nanti deh if I find it I'll share with you guys. Tapi she's a really cool person and she's been fighting for female equality kayak since day one. I think dia dulu di Harvard satu-satunya wanita di kelas dia sendiri taking notes and doing double shift, being a mom, being a student, terus dia nggak dapat kerjaan, terus akhirnya sekarang kayaknya she was a supreme judge and she kept fighting for women empowerment until the day she passed away. Jadi she's really really one role model of mine juga. If you guys want to look for how she's a perfect person to learn from in terms of how to share women empowerment with other people, bahkan untuk orang-orang yang kurang ngerti gitu.
Oh, that's amazing. That's already very empowering and inspiring when you share about your mom and about her. That's amazing. What about you, Mani?
This is such a difficult question, honestly, because I feel like I am constantly inspired by so many different women, and like what Yoren said, juga kayak it always changes. But I mean, if I would have to pinpoint it at a certain someone, I would probably say Emma Watson, just because, she is a very monumental person within the women empowerment space. Like, she's been working with the UN and everyone, really spreading the message. But at the same time, she really made me believe that you can really just because let's say you're beautiful and you're an actress and stuff, that doesn't mean you're dumb, how there's certain stereotypes, right, with kalau misalnya certain girls, if they're pretty or whatever, they can't be smart. And she just really proved the opposite because she's an Oxford alumni, she's done so many great initiatives as well, and she's so well spoken, and as well as a UN ambassador and stuff. So I would probably have to say that it's her, because it really made me think juga if let's say I want to be in different types of industries, that's also very possible. If I want to pursue higher education, I can dream and hopefully get to that point. If let's say I want to do something in media or something, that's also fine, right? So it gave me the realization that a woman's role isn't just defined or subjected to one thing, atau one job. That you can really be very adaptable, terus bener-bener just do whatever that you want and whatever that you put your mind to.
I think that's really great because like kalau kita ngelihat sekarang juga perempuan-perempuan tuh we just have high standards on ourselves already nowadays. Like we're just not like pretty. We have to be like that it girl in a way. Kayak somehow everyone's just like that. Our standard has like been there. Dari awal yang kayak pagi-pagi bangun journaling, meditating, making smoothies and all that. Dulu gue kayaknya tuh masih bangun tidur tuh kayak nonton Doraemon, you know what I mean? Like this generation is like amazing. And I think, like Emma Watson and all female boss ladies, female, like all those feminists these days in our generation has been raising the bar like so high. And I think, they are helping us to also get ourselves together and be the most authentic person that we are, and helping others, definitely. So as today's women empowerment has become a global movement, and a lot of companies or institutions that they're already like being more inclusive and raising women's representation in their respective fields. What do you think? In what other ways can we support other women in women empowerment? Yoren, do you want to answer that first?
I think satu hal yang gue belajar sih being an early jobber. I mean, I'm in my first year of actual work. Yang gue pelajarin adalah representation. Walaupun sekarang company bilang oh ya kita ada 50% females gitu. Kalau dilihat organizational chart-nya ya females-nya banyak di mana gitu. Is it at the bottom? Is it at the top? Or is it actually equal? Jadi the next step for me is actually making sure kayak wanita-wanita dapat kesempatan yang equal in all positions, bukan cuma entry level. Karena emang it's proven that there's data dari BPS showing a lot of females have more admin work, tapi less managerial work, jadi kayak less women are managers. Apalagi di tech kelihatan banget. Kita juga pas itu pernah ada speaker Fatma Jana ngomongin tentang women in tech, dan dia bicarain how like yes we hire a lot of in tech they hire a lot more female sekarang, tapi jatuh-jatuhnya junior doang, associate doang, susah naik pangkat gitu buat mereka, and it has to do with a lot of factors. Yang pertama kayak resources dari luar ada atau enggak, kayak mereka di sekolah dapet resourcesnya atau enggak. Terus yang kedua itu di dalam kerjaannya sendiri apakah mereka dikasih kesempatan untuk grow or to learn more gitu. Are they getting the same opportunities as their male co-workers in terms of leveling up their career gitu sih menurut aku.
Thank you, Yoren. What about you, Mani? What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think definitely there is a lack of women in very male-dominated spaces, like tech, finance, science, right? Like all the STEM-related fields. But I think that something else that can be done, by companies is also making a safe space for working moms. I feel like in Indonesia masih agak kurang ya mungkin. Just because ada stigma ya kalau seandainya you are a mom, then that is your job. Your job is to raise kids and stuff. When it's not always that case, right? We see, there's so many women now who's actually proven to you can be a mom, but you can also still work. You can still achieve your career, your dreams, your intentions and stuff. So I definitely think what else can be done is to make companies, right, have different kind of like laws and regulations yang benar-benar tuh make it easier for, let's say, their female employees who decide to one day become pregnant and stuff, and then let it be like a safe space for them to come back to work, return back to work, and make it okay for them to still be a working mom and have that tolerance, have that understanding juga. Recently juga a really trending post was going around on LinkedIn. It became kind of viral, right? This social media startup, I forgot what it was called, tapi they allowed their female employee to bring her kid, into the meeting room, and she was like giving a meeting while holding her baby like next to her and stuff. Like, it's definitely possible, and I think though yang dibutuhkan is just a change in mindset, to be honest, and enforcing that into the rules and regulations of different companies, and yeah, just so that like if let's say one day your female employee says that, oh, I'm pregnant, she won't be ashamed to say that, oh, I'm pregnant or I'm a mom, because the reality is so many women are ashamed at saying that karena tuh langsung mereka di look down, mereka dikira oh, okay, you're gonna be pregnant, so you're gonna be out of work for like 9 months, so like you're not productive, you won't benefit the company. That's probably like what they're thinking, right? But your employees, they're humans as well, and it's pretty a human nature process, to one day experience that and stuff. So yeah, that's something that definitely has to be enforced.
Yeah, agreed banget with Mani. Just to also continue, right? Kayak karena kita sekarang udah lebih banyak wanita in the workforce, it's also one of our jobs juga sebagai wanita to bring awareness to these companies. Jadi sering banget nih dapet cerita-cerita yang kayak Mani baru bilang gitu, kayak working moms being undervalued, kayak working moms being underestimated gitu ya, kalau nggak kayak wanita-wanita in general being underestimated. If you have a voice and if you feel comfortable enough to stand up for others, do so gitu. Kalau misalkan kalian ngelihat kayak coworker kalian yang cewek kurang dapat kesempatan nih, speak up gitu. Apalagi if you're in a position yang kayak manager gitu ya, dan kamu actually bisa say something, it really helps gitu. The next step is not only coming from the companies, tapi coming from us as well. Jadi kalau misalkan you guys can say something, I think it's a great thing to do. Karena myself personally, I've been in that position yang kayak aku di cut off gitu ya. Misalkan di meeting, I have a good idea that somebody will say kayak in 5 minutes a guy, tapi didengerin gitu. Tapi the managers in that room, kalau nggak kayak the female leaders in that room actually step up and say kayak, tadi orang udah bilang, kalau nggak kayak, jangan potong, dia lagi ngomong gitu. It really helps, even though it's a small thing like that, it changes the culture. And nanti kedepannya kayak, if we can change all companies' cultures, that would be ideal. Tapi it can also start from us.
It all starts from us. I love that. I love that so much. So I want to ask, why would a woman choose entrepreneurship for empowerment? Yorin, you want to say something about that?
I think okay, maybe ini kayak, I don't know if it's true for all women, tapi looking from my mom, kayaknya why people choose entrepreneurship for women empowerment is for the freedom of choice. Kayak as an entrepreneur, I know a lot of moms are entrepreneurs and they get the freedom to set aside time for their families karena they're the boss. They get to also set their own culture, their own rules in the company. And I think that's one of the most empowering things ever. You guys set the standards, you guys set the culture gitu. And then you guys can also, you have the power to empower other women. I think that's one of the big things why women empowerment, entrepreneurship is great for women empowerment.
What about you, Manny? Yeah, I think like what Yoren said really hit the nail on it. Say, also, right, I feel like being an entrepreneur, like you face a lot of risk, so like obviously, you see that there's certain issues that you want to solve and you bring your business to try and solve these certain issues. But of course, even though you're in control of the overall enterprise, you are facing so much risk, but with high risk comes high reward, and with these females, let's say, who want to become entrepreneurs, I feel like that's a massive stepping stone for them to also become financially independent, and like what Yoren said as well, once you have your own company, when more companies are built by women, and you have founders that really understand what it is like, to experience, working as like a female employee and stuff, then you're gonna see a lot of different types of organizational change. Yeah. And there's so many like articles on Forbes and all of this that also prove that female leadership is highly effective, because females, they bring in so many different types of qualities that men may not typically have. Yeah, like let's say empathy, typically, people would think that, oh yeah, women who are very empathetic, they're weak. But actually, leading with empathy has proven to be so effective, and like you really get to understand like what is the root cause of like certain issues and stuff, and it just shows how like certain feminine qualities can actually be strengths, and it's just like it's just an example that everyone can look up to and actually see wow, like there's a different type of organizational change that comes with women being the leaders, women being the CEOs and the founders and all of that.
Yeah, that's really true. And I think what Yorin just said itu benar banget sih. And yeah, go women empowerment and go women entrepreneurs. Like we need more women bosses out there. Like we need a better world. And with being an entrepreneur and being a mom, being a womanpreneur, you can actually help the society to get better. And I want to ask, talking about support, right? Ada nggak sih institusi-institusi di Indonesia?
Sebelum lanjut, I also want to say teman-teman yang lagi nonton, yang lagi di kolom chat, feel free to drop down kalau misalkan kalian tahu female-owned businesses ya. Karena nanti me and Mani will go check it out. Kita ada list of female-owned businesses that hopefully nanti kita bisa support juga lewat Vampire. So feel free to chat down kalau misalkan kalian kenal tante kalian, teman kalian, siapapun, just chat down di comment kayak what the businesses are and we'll check them out.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. Oh my God, aku lagi ngecek the comment sections. They're all hyping you up, girls. Kayak, Yorin is bossing, and like Ramani, like so much loves, and like queens. We love that. Thank you so much. Ada lagi Ninja Boy bilang speak up for menstrual and maternal leave. Wait, she's speaking Yorin. Gosh. I love this energy. I love it. Okay, so back to the question. Ada nggak sih institusi atau mungkin organisasi di Indonesia yang mereka itu tuh supporting women's empowerment in the business world? Siapa nih yang mau jawab duluan enaknya? Yoren?
Actually, I had a list. My laptop is dead. So I'll just try to remember as much as I can. Kayaknya buat businesses itself, I know Sophie. I think it's a company that supports womenpreneurs. Ada juga banyak yang aku lihat di Instagram sih lebih ke promosi gitu ya, like women empowerment platforms like Vampire, Girls in Tech, One Bisa, even Stellar Women, apalagi Yaman, banyak banget. There's so many women empowerment platforms out there that gives you maybe not funding, tapi lebih ke skills dan resources. I think there's also a female accelerator program by Stellar Women. Jadi accelerators, they help businesses grow. So I think that's a really, really great program to support women. Other than that, mungkin Mani juga bisa sharing. Mungkin dia tahu juga lebih banyak
You want to add, Money?
Yeah, I think on the top of my head would also probably be like Women Works. So I know that they do also offer mentorship programs, one-on-one sessions, or even group kind of mentorships. But I mean, like, it's just so awesome to see how there's so many like female organizations, like social organizations now, yeah, yang punya visi misi untuk really kayak help and uplift other women in Indonesia. Like, I wish there was this like when I was still in high school or something. But yeah, no, because it's really much needed. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, maybe because funding. Well, I heard from a source that when it comes to investing in female-owned businesses in Indonesia, it is a very big challenge because from an investor's point of view, karena tuh there's a lack of female businesses to begin with. Jadi as an investor, you really have to do your cost benefit analysis like constantly, yeah. Apalagi when you're investing thousands or millions of dollars into different types of businesses and stuff. Karena let's say because there's a lack of these certain businesses, then that means that the chances of these businesses succeeding is very low. So that's why, unfortunately, maybe that's why we don't see a lot of these type of efforts, yeah, when it comes to like investing in women-owned businesses. But we are seeing some change, some improvement. I mean, in Southeast Asia juga banyak kayak angel investment companies as well as venture capitals. There's this one venture capital namanya Sogal. They invest in like different types of startups in Southeast Asia. And I know that ada this company called Angin, which is the angel investment network in Indonesia. So they're also really known to invest in female-owned businesses. One of them, and also AC Ventures, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of VCs in Indo now, like they are making certain steps to invest in female-owned businesses, like this marine tech startup, Aruna. Also recently, Tessa Wijaya, one of the co-founders of Zendit, she made it big. She's one of the, first ever female co-founders of an Indonesian unicorn. Like, how crazy is that? And they got investments not from Indo, but from Silicon Valley. So it's really incredible seeing, that there are a lot of really strong and smart female actors, like within the entrepreneurship space that's really pushing those boundaries and like breaking those glass ceilings for, the younger generation, like us or even those below us. Jadi kalau misalnya one day, like our younger siblings or whatsoever, when they want to start their own businesses and stuff, hopefully it will be easier for them as well, so yeah.
Thank you so much. That's already a lot of lists going on. I hope everybody can take notes of that because we need that. Thank you so much. That's very resourceful. Now, how do you see the potential of our generation, like the younger generation? What do we have as youngsters that is actually a big, big potential to give impacts? Money, you want to try first?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again? Tadi tuh agak putus-putus, sorry.
Okay, so how do you see the potential of our generation, of the younger generation? What do we have as youngsters that is actually a big potential to give impacts? Well,
this is a very like double-edged sword. I mean, you have the TikTok gen, right? Who's growing up with like TikTok, like my younger sisters and stuff. But I think honestly, right, like with the younger generation that's coming up right now, they're way more aware. about like social issues and what's happening in the world than, how when I was at like 9 years old, and it is definitely because of social media, technology, that's really making that change and stuff. But this is also, I think, is a good thing because a lot of younger girls right now, because we've learned, our generation and the generation above us, we've learned from the mistakes, that were made in the past, and we know what we need to do in order to like solve it and to try and prevent the constant like cycle from like repeating itself, right? So that's why we're like so many organizations and companies as well, they're encouraging, women acting or pursuing careers in STEM, right? And like certain like male dominated industries and stuff. So I really am hopeful, that like the younger generation is like seeing that, and like wanting to pursue careers that is within that field. I mean, like one of my younger sisters, she told me, she's like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a businesswoman, and I want to be a software engineer. And I'm like, well, that's 3 different things, honey, but don't worry, like you do you. I agree with you. I support you, even though being a doctor takes like 15 years, but sure, So yeah, I mean, like there is kayak that, apa ya, that enlightenment, and like that awareness. So I really do hope that, the younger generation will really even push that change further.
I really like that. And talking about social media, I think a lot of youngsters right now, they are way more vocal about everything, about the social situation. Kayak mereka nggak cuma nerima input, tapi juga mereka udah mulai berani untuk bisa ngeluarin output gitu. And I think that's very rare in our generation. I mean, because like media communication, that has a lot of impact on it. So Yorin, what about your take on this?
Setuju sih. I think I agree with everything that Mani said and you said also. But I don't know if I'm misunderstanding the question. Cuman I think the biggest power that we have, kalau ngomong youngsters, kayak seakan-akan gue enggak kayak youngsters. Kayak kalau ngomongin kita tuh kayak menurut gue, one thing that I realized, guys, kita tuh, we're the biggest portion of the population right now di Indo. Lo mau get something viral and get all the young people behind it, it's so easy karena we are the majority of the voice gitu. And I think the more power we understand, like how big of a power that is sebenarnya, the more we can use that power for good gitu loh. Karena I think one thing that dari dulu ya, ini personally gue ngerasa kayak ngapain sih gue speak up, it's not gonna change anything anyways. But it is kayak, if you see now kayak, not to get political or anything, it's young people that are hacking Putin gitu loh in Russia, kayak his security works, his like his different accounts. It's young people doing that. It's young people going to demonstrations. It's young people showing up and actually speaking out. And it's also sebenarnya logically young people, kita yang paling ngerti kayak teknologi gitu. Yeah. Kita yang paling ngerti sosmed. We know how to make things viral. And if things are viral, more people know about it, more awareness, that's a power. Kayak we have the skills to make like vampire gitu loh, like like I don't think that was something that was easily available dulu. Sekarang kita tinggal bikin Instagram account and like kita tinggal sharing tentang women empowerment, and even though it only affects one person, that's still one more than if we didn't have it gitu. So I think the power is in the voice, it's in your actions. Every little bit of it really matters because we're the majority, guys.
Indeed. And also, I think to add, right, I think like youngsters still have nothing to lose in a way. Kayak siapa coba in the right mind berani ngehack, I mean, within, but like, we just like, have that like raging hormones and everything, so like kayak lebih berani gitu. But yeah, I think we are more well connected. Kayak misalnya I can see like you guys Vampire having this organization from like the members are scattered around the world, and you guys can like do this collaboratively. Like, girls, that's really awesome. I love that. So how do you see the future of women empowerment in Indonesia and globally? Mani, you want to give your take on that?
Well, I mean, I feel like my answer is very hopeful and very optimistic, which I think is a good thing.
We need that, girl.
But I mean, I do hope to see, like more women, speaking up and, just saying things as how it is, and without having that fear or without having that doubt. Of course, there's still like a long way to go, because we're socially ingrained to think like, oh ya cewek tuh ngomongnya nggak boleh yang kasar, nggak boleh yang kayak gini, nggak boleh yang kayak gitu, or like, or even if let's say we're just being straight to the point and vocal about certain things, automatically we're assumed to be, can I swear? Oh no.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
The B word, okay? Like automatically, right? So, like I definitely, hope that we just start not caring about like what other people think about us, and just try and always do good and like consistently like trying to improve ourselves, right? And also I hope to see more women in male dominated spaces, like working as a doctor or even like a geologist or a scientist or a mathematician. I don't know, like in all these very traditionally male dominated spaces. That's really something that I hope for, and that I see, and that I wish was like ingrained in my brain, like, oh, why don't you, focus in IT or coding or something, like, but unfortunately my brain is not wired that way. But yeah, but as in, I just really hope to see that and just women constantly like just doing you, focusing on yourself, and also bringing along other women with you to the top, and not just like leaving them down at the bottom, like what Yoran said, in like admin roles or secretaries or whatsoever, like benar-benar kayak uplifting one another and making sure that we empower each other, we support each other, and we boost up each other's confidence and share resources, and really not seeing other girls as competition, but as, like companions that you can bring to the top.
I love that. We love that, Mani. Thank you so much. What about you, Yoran?
Mani's answer is really cool. My answer is more.
Oh no. Okay.
No. Did
That is okay. Yeah, probably. This happens all the time though. Like with virtual live session. This happens all the time. So probably she'll be back soon.
No worries.
But before we get to the closing statement, I want to ask you, what's the best empowering moment or advice or maybe experience that you've had in your life that makes you feel invincible?
Oh, so sorry.
Yoran's back.
Oh, you're back. Where are you?
I'll get on that question in a bit.
My device died. Sorry banget, guys.
No
sorry
worries,
banget, Friday.
no worries.
Sorry, Rizka, for all the technical issues I'm causing today.
It's okay, girl.
Tadi pertanyaannya apa ya? Future for female women
empowerment in Indonesia and globally.
Oh yeah, I was saying how Mani's answer is really cool, and I think my answer is more simple, yang kayak, oke, bayangin aja misalkan generasi kedepannya itu yang the people who will raise them are us. People like me and Manny. Jadi kayak we're going to foster kayaknya kayak kids, females and males. Yang paling penting kayak cowok dan cewek yang lebih supportive, yang lebih ngerti gender equality, yang kayak kalau misalkan I know if I raise my kid, girl or boy, if anybody undermines them because of their gender, their race, anything, kayak they'll know how to talk gitu, kayak so what gitu. So what gitu. Jadi kayak I think we'll raise a lot more like smarter kids, a lot more kids that have like less limitations, and I think that's gonna change the culture of everything to hopefully jadi kayak culture yang Mani ngomongin, yang kita nggak harus takut tentang kayak kalau cewek dikecilin, kalau cewek nggak dapet kerjaan gitu-gitu. Yeah, I'm excited guys. I think it's gonna be really fun. The next generation, I can't wait to see it.
Our kids and grandchildren.
Our kids, that's so crazy.
Let's go. So I was just asking Mani when you were gone for a bit about what's the best empowering moment or advice or experience that you have had in your life that makes you feel invincible. Mani, you want to continue?
That is such a difficult question. Well, I think I would probably have to say that whenever it's a constant, it's different experiences, but the moral of that experience is the same. So there's a reoccurring theme. And that is when probably I feel like when I'm at my lowest, and like when I really feel down, I feel like I don't have a purpose. I don't have, like anything that motivates me or whatsoever. And how did I relapse? How did I, adapt to that was by having a very strong support system and constantly positively reassuring me, giving me positive affirmations and stuff, and just giving me that boost that I can, pursue whatever that I put my mind to. And, it's family, it's friends, it's even now it's people within Fempire as well, so as in, having a very strong and close support system with you who can, pick you up and just be like, no, don't think that way. That is dumb. Like get out of that mindset. You're better than that. Just always, it uplifts me and just makes me feel like, okay, I can do this. I can tackle whatever that I'm going to go through, like the hurdles, and I'm gonna overcome it.
Support system, our safe place, safe space. That's very, very important. What about you, Yoren?
Kayaknya gue punya jawaban sih beda banget dari Mani. I think I was one of the more extreme reactions. I think the best empowerment moment that I felt justru dulu pas kecil when I realized kayak dulu tuh when I was in high school, I would say kayak I'd be a bit different, kayak aku diem dulu, kayak lebih diem dulu, lebih malu dulu, kayak nggak mau ngomong apa-apa, nggak mau kayak angkat tangan duluan gitu loh, nggak mau ngeribetin gitu kan. Dulu aku kayak gitu. Terus it was kind of like a eureka moment for me, dimana kayak aku sadar kayak tapi kenapa, why am I not stopping people kalau misalkan they're interrupting me? Why am I not raising my hand when I know the answer gitu loh? Why am I not telling people that they're wrong when they're wrong gitu, and I know that misalkan factual gitu that I'm right? It's because kita dulu ya di conditioning, yang Mani pernah cerita, di condition untuk lebih diam, lebih baik, kayak kamu wanita, kamu santai aja gitu, kayak kamu harus feminim, kamu nggak boleh kayak make trouble gitu-gitu kan. Jadi kayak it was a eureka moment for me where it's like I don't have to do any of that, kayak I don't have to be a good girl, I don't have to be feminine, kayak I mean there's nothing wrong with people who do that juga, tapi you don't have to if you don't want to. Jadi pas aku sadar itu aku kayak, oh iya, ya aku duduk di belakang, kalau cowok-cowok duduk di depan gitu loh. Ya udah, it was a 360 degree move di mana aku kayak, oke, gue di meeting yang paling kenceng, gue duduk di paling depan gitu, gue selalu angkat tangan gitu, gue duduk pas itu sempet kayak 1 tahun kayak ngangkang apa sih, kayak I just man spread, like take up as much space as I can, kayak gue kayak no gitu, kayak I don't need to be what you think I am gitu. I think it was a bit extreme, tapi it was most empowering for me karena gue sadar kayak, oh iya ya, itu semua tuh social construct, kayak makanya that's one of the things that I also teach my cousins gitu, kayak you don't have to care about how you look all the time, you don't only have to think about what other people think, kayak you need to know what's good for you, what's good for what you want to do gitu. Jadi kayak itulah, I think the most empowering moment for me was when I realized I can do whatever I want gitu. What's stopping me?
Exactly. I love that, girl. I love that. So, do you have any closing statements to all the women out there, because this is International Women's Day, or maybe to all guys out there, everyone out there, to celebrate this? Siapa dulu nih yang mau jawab nih? Romani?
Yes, I just want to, say thank you so much for Tech for ID for this opportunity to discuss about a very, very important topic. But also to the audience, I wanted to say Happy International Women's Day. And, we are welcoming not just women, but men as well into our movement. The more the merrier, and a really, really important part of delivering that change that we want to see is by having, other people who aren't women, who understand, who get to understand us and get to vouch for us, get to advocate and all of that, and really stand up for women's issues. Not just in the workplace, but also in public spaces as well. And probably a quote as well that I want to share with everyone that really resonated with me. It's this quote by, sorry, let me just pull it up. Forgot. I don't remember the exact saying. But it is by AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And the quote is, "They'll tell you you're too loud, that you need to wait your turn and ask the right people for permission, do it anyway." So exactly like what Yoren said, regarding her experience, right? Really, for the women watching as well, start believing in yourself, because we all believe in you. And if you ever feel like you want to join a community with other like-minded women and also men, feel free to join us at Fempire, because we welcome everyone and anyone. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mani.
Our Instagram is at Vampire_ID. I'm just joking.
Thank you. But thank you. We want to know that. Thank you, Yoren. Okay, your closing statement and a quote that you love.
Okay, sure. So closing statement, happy International Women's Day. Yay. So happy for us all. Thank you so much for Tech Friday for having this. It's so fun always to talk with Intan and Mani about topics about women empowerment, and it's just karena sharing experience aja, and I think hopefully people who listen, mau cewek mau cowok lah, kayak kalian juga bisa lebih ngerti kayak what is the women empowerment movement, kayak gimana kalian bisa join gitu, how you guys can also learn more. For one of the quotes that I actually want to say is by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I love this quote because I feel like women empowerment again is not just about bringing in the females, tapi bringing in everybody, right? Like Emma Watson, bringing everybody to join the fight. Jadi Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the quote is fight for the things that you care about, but do so in a way that will lead others to join you. So bring what you learn here, fight for what you care about. You all have a voice. Tapi when you do fight for it, bring others with you. The more the merrier. Hopefully with that, I wanna, and I think that's my closing statement. Thank you so much again, Intan, for leading such a great session.
Thank you.
And thank
so
you
much.
everyone that's watching.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Yorin. Thank you very much, Ramani, for all the inspiration, all the, whatever that you share today. Semoga bisa menjadi manfaat dan juga bisa menginspirasi banyak orang. I really feel your energy going through the screen to me. So thank you very much. Aku udah belajar banyak banget again and always learning a lot from you girls. And yeah, kalau misalnya tadi kalian bring up some quotes, I will also close this with a quote from my mom, Ibuku Sumawati Dewi. Ibu, kalau ibu di luar sana nonton ini, this is for you, mom. This is a quote that my mom always tell me whenever I have that, that imposter syndrome, for example, or when I'm like doubting myself. My mom always says, kalau kamu takut, lakuin aja, nanti takutnya hilang. And that gets me places. That's a mantra. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here, and thank you so much again, Vampire, for giving us our co-founders here to talk for Tech for ID session today. Terima kasih banyak yang udah nonton dari awal sampai akhir. Sebelum kita closing, kita akan sebut dulu nih tagline Tech for ID. So the tagline is Tech for ID, technology for Indonesia, technology for everyone. Silakan.
We say it now?
Okay,
Yeah.
Diaba-abain ya.
Diaba-abain ya. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Tech for ID.
For ID, technology for Indonesia, technology for everyone. Thank you
so much. Thank you so much. See you guys on another live with